You are going to learn the blue kasina. Now in this course, as I have mentioned, I'm going to teach you two meditation objects. The meditation on breath according to the northern tradition, which pays attention to the pranic body. That's why we are, some of us, learning Qigong to develop the awareness of the pranic body. And the blue kasina, which seems to be the main object of shamatha in this sakya tradition. Now, as you may know, and it is very important to be aware of that, I myself, I have been trained in the Theravada tradition. That is my background. And it is a very important background. I am myself convinced that without the knowledge of the Theravada tradition, or what is called Hinayana, in China the wise teachers are avoiding the term Hinayana. They use the term Southern Buddhism and Northern Buddhism. The Hinayana is actually not a very good term, especially in our time. So the Southern Buddhism anyway emphasizes the path of Arahat, and the Northern Buddhism emphasizes the path of the Bodhisattva. Now you are learning meditation according to the Northern Buddhism. So this Northern Buddhism has a preliminary to all meditation, the development of bodhicitta, as you are going to learn. What is the meaning of bodhicitta? The meaning of bodhicitta is basically that there is no Buddhahood without the idea of a universal awakening. The very Buddhahood is based on the idea of universal awakening. There is no such thing as individual awakening in the Mahayana tradition. When you awakened in the Mahayana tradition, you are awakened together with all sentient beings. This is what matters. You cannot be awakened by yourself because nothing belongs to yourself. To understand that nothing belongs to ourselves, we have to understand the mind. So Actually, the meditation in the Mahayana tradition boils down to meditation on the mind. Now, you are learning shamatha with a certain object, like a breath, like a blue flower. With the aim to turn eventually your mind to the mind itself. This is where you find the awakening wisdom. Nowhere else the awakening wisdom can be found except the mind. Now, the difference between the awakening wisdom of the disciples and the awakening wisdom of the bodhisattvas is precisely here. The awakening wisdom of the disciples is based on, at least so the scriptures explain. But remember, the scriptures is ultimate reality cannot be explained by any scripture, any words. This is the principal teaching of Mahayana. So we should not really distinguish between the path of an arahat and the path of a bodhisattva. These distinctions, they are just upaya, skillful means. The Mahayana scriptures, like Sandhi Nirmochana Sutra, emphasize that the ultimate reality cannot be grasped, cannot be explained by words. So the difference between the bodhisattva path and the arahat path is precisely the bodhisattva path consists of meditation on one reality, and one reality which is beyond words. And this one reality beyond words can only be found in the mind itself. This mind is covered. Because it is covered, we are suffering. This is what we have been learning. Now, day before yesterday, we have learned that what covers the mind is called defilements, kleshas, phanau. In Buddhist tradition, these kleshas, phanau, defilement, they have many, many names, many, many aspects. You will find at least 30 different names in the Abhidharma for these coverings of the mind, which prevents us from seeing mind, seeing the reality as it really is. Now we have learned that this covering of the mind has the aspect of The active aspect, which is called in Sanskrit Paryavastana, in Chinese Fu. Fu. I can never mind. So this aspect is when actually we are aware of defilements. We become angry. We are aware how the greed takes possession of our mind and makes it insensitive. These defilements, they make the mind insensitive. Because the mind is insensitive, it suffers. When we are advanced practitioners, we are aware of this suffering. When we are not meditators, not yogis, we suffer, but we are not even aware of this suffering. This is worse. So basically we learn shamatha to be aware of suffering. When we have mastered shamatha, we become perfectly aware of suffering. Because we are dwelling in the pure mind. When we dwell in the pure mind, we have opened our heart to wisdom. If we don't dwell in the pure mind, the heart, in fact, is not open to wisdom. Because it is covered. When the covering becomes active, we see we are angry. We are deluded by greed, by pride, by jealousy. So, when we meditate, we take the countermeasures. These countermeasures, they are called antidotes. Tuizhi. So basically learning the art of meditation is learning how to use these antidotes so as to let the mind dwell in the state of purity. That is shamatha. When the mind is pure, it is appeased. And the shamatha means appeasement. When the mind is appeased, it is open, it is sensitive, it can be relaxed, it is light, it is workable, it is pliable, it is easy to cope with, and it can gain the quality of impartiality. The wisdom is based on impartiality. When we have become arahats, when we have become the realized bodhisattva, this quality of impartiality or upeksha It's always there. This is how we know we are enlightened. We are Buddhas, either Shravaka Buddhas or the Samyak Sambuddhas. The impartiality means objectivity. Now, learning meditation also means we are learning to understand we are not objective. We think we are objective, but we are not objective. Actually, we beings, we do not see reality as it really is, because our mind is covered. But we are very persistently believe that we see reality as it really is. This is the stubborn nature of us beings. This is why we beings, we are like naughty child. We have told the story of the naughty child. This naughty child is nothing but our own mind. Always causing trouble by believing that its distorted view is the correct view. So it harms. It harms itself, it harms others. When there is active defilement, we can actually see it, how it harms. But most of the time, we are acting on behalf of the latent defilement, which is called anusaya, suimian. Also, another name for anushaya, for latent defilement, is called the bija, the seed. We act in accordance with how the seeds of previous distorted habitual reactions form our mind. Because they form our mind, without our knowledge of that, we are stubbornly convinced that the reality we experience is the objective reality. So now we are learning meditation. We are learning meditation in the Mahayana way. That means, for us, meditation means the development of the ultimate bodhicitta. Ultimate bodhicitta means we do not need to think that we are not different from other beings. This knowledge becomes spontaneous. So we have a direct realization of non-duality. The teachings of the Bodhisattva emphasize this experience. And if we are meditating in the Bodhisattva way, we are attuning our mind to this experience. We are attuning our mind to this experience by, as we are learning, by aspiration for the highest realization, by dedicating our merits for the benefit of all sentient beings, by developing spontaneous love and compassion, which is called objectless love and compassion, which is the sphere of the Buddhas. So all this vision we are integrating into our practice of Shamatha and Vipassana. This is the unique feature of Shamatha and Vipassana in the Mahayana tradition, in the northern tradition. So with this understanding, then again we come back to meditation. So meditation means removing the coverings of our mind. When we are doing that, we are meditating. At first, we remove the active coverings of our mind. When our mind becomes more and more sensitive, we can start also the long process of removing the latent coverings of the mind, the anushayas, the bijas. Actually, the deep sensitivity of the mind is precisely the awareness of these bijas, of these seeds in our mind, which actually control our behavior, control our acts. When we become aware of it, we are meditating. When we meditating, we become aware that our experience is based in the mind. And our mind, samsaric mind, is based on these seeds of previous experiences stored in our mind. So the Buddha explains, Chittena niyate loko chittena parikasati chittasa eka dhammasa sabbe dhamma vasam anvagu. The very wonderful saying of the Buddha. The world is under the control of the mind. The world is led by the mind. All the phenomena, all the dhammas are under control of one dharma, one phenomena. And that is the mind. So ultimately, we are learning meditation, we are learning to meditate on the mind, which is in control of everything. So we start meditating by using an object. Without using an object, a normal person like ourselves cannot enter the meditation on the mind. It is almost impossible. Why? Because the monkey mind is our nature. So we need a non-moving object to tame the monkey mind. As we will learn, the skillful means for taming the monkey mind is the unmovable object and unmovable body. We will talk about it in the coming days also. To tame the monkey mind, the unmovable body and unmovable object are our means. Without these means, we will not succeed. Now, when we have tamed our monkey mind, then we have access to wisdom. This is a first Buddhist principle in meditation. The Buddha explained, Samahitam chitam yatha bhutam pasati. Only the mind in samadhi can see things as they really are. Yatha bhutam. What we see are actually the manifestations of our bijas, of our seeds in consciousness. So it seems enough for today as far as explanation is concerned. Please meditate on these principles because they are the guiding principles of our meditation. Without absorbing these guiding principles, we will be led astray for sure. Now, We are learning these days about the renunciation, which is also the base for understanding these principles. Without renunciation, we cannot understand. So, tomorrow we will continue to explain the conditions for meditation. Now, as usual, the rest of our time we spent on meditation. Now, keep this blue color with you. And try in your free time just to pay attention to it. Keep it not too close to your eyes, not too far from your eyes, so that you can see clearly the middle of the flower. And form in your mind the clear mental image of that blue color. When you have a clear image of that blue color, you can then attain absorption of the mind on the blue color. When you have merged with this blue image of the blue color, then you can learn effectively to meditate on the mind. Now, in the Buddhist tradition, there are 4 basic colors. So we have 4 absorptions into these basic colors. The blue is one of them. The basic colors in Buddhism, they are blue, white, yellow and red. So we have 4 color kasinas to be mastered. All the other colors, they are composed colors. And you can get absorption of the mind on a composed color. Impossible. Later you can try. You will see yourself. This is also one of the secrets of our mind. Many, many secrets hidden in our mind. When you learn more the dhyanas, the supernatural powers, you will discover many, many secrets hidden in our mind. So now you just take it for information. Each of these basic colors has its, in Indian languages there is a wonderful word called rasa. Rasa means taste. Each color has its taste, has its peculiar sensation, peculiar feeling. The taste of blue color is peace. So it is a especially good color for training in appeasement. Now the blue color, which is actually the kasina, is the color of the moonless night. So it is something between black and blue. The blue color is blue in according to the shading of the black. So actually when you train in the blue kasina, you can also use black color, you can also use blue color. Both colors are conducive to the state of absorption, dhyana. In Indian tradition, they don't distinguish clearly between blue and black. So, Nila, the blue can be Krishna, can be black, and Krishna can be blue. Depends how we see it. So, in the night, we can see the blue color, moonless night, and we can also see the black color. When we are absorbed in this color of the moonless night, then this is also you will find in Indian music. Also talk about rasa, even in Ayurveda, in medicine. So this taste of the blue color, black color is peace. So when you have merged with this color, then you will feel your heart fulfilled with the taste of peace. Now, similarly, like in the case of meditation on the breath, why our mind is moving? Because it has no peace. So in order to bring the mind into peace, we learn two meditations. They are in a way related. The meditation on the breath and meditation on the blue color. Both have the quality of the peace. When the mind stops moving, it is at perfect peace. And this is what you are supposed to attain through meditation. So when you practice meditation on the breath, you use the breath to appease your mind. And same, you use a blue color to appease your mind. When the breath has the quality of peace, it makes no noise. It is continuous, not zigzag. It is smooth. It is subtle. When you meditate on breath, you should get accustomed to this kind of breath. Then the mind naturally turns towards peace. Similarly, when you meditate on the blue color, you also try to find the same quality of peace in the blue color. So now, since we have started with meditation on the breath, we place the body in a perfect, unmoving, straight posture. We will learn in the coming days, especially in the course, more about the perfect posture, how it is related to the pranic body. So now we relax our body, relax our mind, and mindfully with vigilance we breathe in and breathe out, paying attention, fixing the eye. The fixation of the eye is support for stable posture. So we fix our mental eye on the nostrils, mindfully breathe in and breathe out. Also being aware that between in-breath and out-breath and in-breath, there is a period of no breath, but actually in this period of no breath, the body is also breathing, not through the nose, but through the pores of the body. So that much for today. We have 15 minutes, so we just do it. May the merits we have gained spread to all beings so that myself and them together attain the Buddhahood. Thank you.